Yep.
And we are live.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope podcast to step to. It's your boy, Rich. Real Talk with Rich is back, y'all. I'm in the building, got my man, the Chief Don Dada Paul with me. And we decided to do a show, but officially, Real Talk with Rich is back. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who is tuning in. Want to thank everyone for all the support. We've been doing a lot of different things behind the scenes, whether we're talking roundtables, short clips, all kind of stuff. So we out here. And I just got the Queen just popped in. Got the Queen Tamiko in the building with us as well. Also, before we get into this thing, we want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps us with the algorithm. And hit the notification bell so when we do go live, whether it's my show, whether it's Tamiko's show, or whether it's Paul's show, or whatever we got going on, it may be her show. You guys know when we're in the building. So, having said that, let me say this. My fellow Black comic lords, how y'all doing?
Cool
All is well.
All is well. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. So, tonight, we always say it's all about the comics, and it most certainly is. But tonight, we are going to play casual fan. We're not going to hit you with a lot of comic book talk. We'll hit a little bit of comic book talk, but for the most part, we are here as fans of comic book movies. You know the title of the show, MCU, DCEU, Fear of a Black Superhero Planet. I gotta say that it's good to be a Black nerd in these day and times. Why is that? Because we have lots of melanin coming to our screen in the near future. And some possibilities. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that later. But we are going to jump this thing off and talk about the first movie that is coming to the big screen, Black Adam. On October the 21st, if the Lord hadn't turned the lights out on this planet, Black Adam will be officially in the theaters. I want to salute the big homie, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for being the baddest cosplayer on the planet. But I like this. I like his casting as Black Adam. This superhero movie is going to be kind of a first. And here's why. Because we have Dwayne Johnson playing Black Adam. We have Aldous Hodge playing Hawkman. And we have Quintessa Swindell playing Cyclone. 3 Black superheroes.
In one movie.
We hadn't seen this, ladies and gentlemen, since Undercover Brother. We remember Undercover Brother. We remember Sister Girl. We remember Smart Brother. And we remember Conspiracy Brother. Yes, your boy said it first. Undercover Brother is a superhero movie, but that's my opinion. But we have not seen this much melanin on screen in a superhero movie. And this is a first. So we need to salute
Black Panther.
Well, he had a couple. He had a couple of, Black Panther and his little friends, as we like to call them most of the time. But anyway, we here tonight. We here to talk about these movies. And so let's first of all, because Paul brought something out, I want to go ahead and hit it because I don't want to get away from the conversation that I'm trying to steer the conversation in. And so, Paul, you talk behind the scenes about Black Adam's power set or where he gets his power from in regards to who he is in the comics and, his ethnicity, which of course we've always questioned. But can you give us shed a little light on who Black Adam really is?
Well, just really briefly, Black Adam's got a very convoluted history, depending on which iteration of the character that you have. Well, there are various comics. We can do another show about the comics and those histories. But with regard to just his power set, what's interesting is everyone's seen the Shazam movie. You know that young little Billy Batson got his power from the wizard, and the wizard listed these various Greek gods, each god representing a power that Shazam has. The Solomon, Hercules, I forget all the Zeus, Mercury, the speed of Mercury, etc. Well, Black Adam also got his powers from the gods, and his powers are also, those gods also spell out the letters Shazam. But Derek will bring up a slide that we have. You'll see that in from Shazam number 28, which is sort of the reintroduction of Black Adam after he had died. You see that he actually got his powers from the Greek gods. I'm sorry, from the Egyptian gods. I said Greek. Egyptian gods. Shu, god of air and supporter of sky, for his stamina. Hershif, strength. Harisiphes, the Egyptian Hercules. Ammon, power, king of the gods. Zehuti, wisdom. Thoth, kingdom, god of wisdom. Anpu, speed. Anubis, conductor of the dead. And Menthu, courage. Mont, god of war. Now understand, these gods precede the Greek gods by thousands of years in ancient Egypt. And there's been some debate about, he's actually from Kahndaq. He's not from Egypt. In the original Captain Marvel comics, it was clear that he was from Egypt, and his powers come from the Egyptian gods. And Kahndaq has been retconned as being a city in Egypt. So I just wanted to make that explanation as to his ties to ancient Egypt and, in essence, to Africa.
Right. It's interesting that you brought up Greeks or Greek and Egyptians in particular. I recommend for those of you out here, this is for free. You're getting this here for free. If you want to read a good book about what the Greeks did to the northern Africans, or as we call them, the Egyptians or Kemet, there's a good book called Stolen Legacy. You should go get that by J.A. Rogers. And if you're a black guy, black woman, black man, black child, you should have that in your library. Shame on you if you don't. I said what I said. But anyway. And that's history with Richard Talk. I thought we'd get into this mess real quick, real soon. But, guys, here's what I want to get at. Question for you both. Is this hype, or is this the real deal?
Well, I would say it's a little both. The Rock is one of the foremost movie stars in Hollywood. He's a $1 billion man. His movies make money. He is very good at hyping movies and franchises. The Fast and Furious franchise was resurrected in large part because of him. So in that respect, yes, when he makes both claims of this movie is going to redefine the DC universe, he's correct. Not because he makes the boast and because he's The Rock, shout out to the U, but because of the fact of where the DC universe is right now. Warner Brothers is a mess. You're getting movies canceled. Batgirl got canceled. The Flash is up in air because Ezra Miller can't, control himself. The DCEU is a mess right now, and it's going to have to be redefined, reevaluated, and reconstructed as a result. Part of the mess also is the fact that, unlike Marvel, DC really focuses on their multiverse. None of their properties are connected to each other. They'll have crossover events like the Flashpoint event that happened in the Flash series, which crossed over various CW properties. In fact, even went so far as to tie in the rest of the WB universe with all the other movies that they've done and television series. I thought that was brilliant. That's the smartest thing they could have done. But Unfortunately, for the most part, the DCEU is not connected. And as a result, a lot of these properties, they feel comfortable just throwing them by the wayside. Now, that being said, the Black Adam's power set is huge. He's a big boy. He's up there with Superman, Shazam, Martian Manhunter. His power set is up there. So who better than him to take over the DC universe with this film?
What about
yeah?
What about you, Tamika? What you think about that? You think this is all hype? You think this is real, the real deal, or is it just hype?
I would say it's more of the real deal than hype. But The Rock, he is the king of hype. So anything that even involves him, just on his name alone, they project that his movies make billions. And he has done so many movies, and some of them were okay, some of them were great, but he still made no less than billions. So right. I believe that this will be the thing. If the WB could get itself together, this would be the movie to kind of right the ship that's listing.
Right.
And the Rock's not jumping into a movie franchise unless he's got a plan. The man's not stupid. I mean, he's a franchise in and of himself. So I don't think it's a coincidence that in the comic books, the Justice League are dead. They killed the Justice League. And the new Justice League, who's the head of who's sort of the leader of that? Black Adam. Not by coincidence. He knows what he's doing.
Gotcha. Let me say this about it. I think that it's to be perfectly honest, I think it's more hype than the real deal. But I will say, let me say why. Because you said it perfectly. This guy is the king of hype. This is a former WEE wrestler. And he's managed to turn his brand into a multi-million-dollar franchise. And so I say it's hype from that perspective. Here's how I think it's the real deal. Because one, it's a movie that we didn't ask for. I don't think nobody 10 years ago was like, you know what would be great on the big screen? Black Adam. Black Adam was on nobody's radar. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to be honest, but The Rock, of course, being someone who probably saw those Marvel checks, probably said to himself, what could I do without even being a part of that brand? Because the one thing that we know about The Rock is he likes to be in control. So he's really more in control. If he had joined, say, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he would just be another spoke in the wheel. We'll talk about spokes in the wheel later on when we get to talking about Blade. But I think that this is going to be a successful movie. We need it to be a successful movie, I feel, because we have not had major Black superheroes and characters on the big screen, with the exception of Cyborg, Ray Fisher, and Black Manta, played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going into this as a popcorn movie. I'm going to get my $35 popcorn, my $25 tub of cherry Dr. Pepper, and some jujubes, and maybe a little. We going all out. And I'm gonna make my wife go with me. So.
Oh wow.
Going full diabetes.
Oh yeah.
That's right. She gonna sit there and watch me eat myself to death, watching The Rock smash everything in sight. But no, I'm being facetious when I say that. I can't get my wife barely go to movies now, so I already know that I'm gonna be a one-man crew when I do go see the movie. But it'll probably be a Tuesday or whatever when it's $5 to before I go see it, because I do know people are gonna pack the theaters out to go see this movie. And plus, that weekend, of course, I will be in Houston. And we want you guys to stay tuned because we do have a dope interview coming up on the day of that opening. So stay tuned for that. We're not going to tell you what it is, who it is just yet, but we got something really fire lined up. So stay tuned for that. So with that, we've just covered The Rock. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to shift gears and we're going to talk a little merch for about a little minute. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Let's go.
Don't forget, go to blackcomiclords.net. Get you some merch. That beautiful shirt that Paul has on, you can get that. That sticker that Tamiko just showed you, you can get that. You can get that on a shirt. You can get that on a mask. You can get that on a backpack. You can get that on a mug. You can get that on you can get that on anything. We got it for you. We got some heat for you. Go to our website, blackcomiclords.net. And check us out. Let's go.
All righty. We back. Please, please, please go to blackcomiclords.net where you can get merch. You can get all kinds of information on Black comic books, Black comic book characters, comic books featuring Black people. The melanin is strong on our website. So please go check it out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Also, again, we want you to, if you have not done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps us with the algorithm. And I'm telling you, tell a friend, tell a hater, we don't care. We standing on our square because that's just what we do. Am I right, somebody? With that being said, we fixing to get into Wakanda Forever in about a month and a few days afterwards. November the 11th, 2022, Black folk are going to terrorize the white media and the white population by just being like roaches all over the movie theaters.
Oh, God.
That's right. I said it. I said what I said. We gonna be in the building.
Derek, do we have a disclaimer video we can?
You know what? You might as well go on and play it because it's about to go down. As I was saying.
I gotta check with our lawyers.
Yeah, please do. So, listen, Wakanda Forever, November the 11th, 2022. The wait is finally over. The excitement for this movie has built. We got a trailer. Some of us were excited about it. Some of us were feeling some type of way about it. All of that right now is bridge under the water. Black Panther fans and acolytes, I would say, and zealots are going to be all over this theater.
Well, are we though?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Here's the thing. Let me say this, and I'm going to let you get in, Tamika. Let me just say this. It's like anything that we struggle with. We may not necessarily like the idea that T'Challa's not going to be in this movie, but we're going to see a couple of our friends go, and you know how it is when you get to, somebody's going to have a fight, and you say, fight, fight, fight. And you looking at that, you got your big bag, your backpack, you talking about, I ain't going over there. And a couple of your friends look at you and they look at each other and they take off and go over there. And one of your friends just kind of steps back and kind of looking at you. Come on, man, come on. That's what you gonna get. So yes, for all of the marks of the world, all you protesters, all of you recast the T'Challa brothers and sisters. I love y'all. I do. But y'all might as well come on to the theater and stop being a hater. We got to go see this movie. We got to go see it. So, Tamika, sweetie, could you please explain to our brother who is the high priest of the cult of Bast or something like that? Could you please help him?
Something like
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's going to beat me there. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a couple of pictures on Facebook saying I'm hating, but I'm in the theater in my white, watching the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think I have to convince him to go see the movie.
Yeah, he's gonna be at the theater with his he's going to wear a University of Miami hat, tilt to the back, nice big old white T-shirt with hashtag recast the child on the back. But
it says save T'Challa. Thank you very much.
Listen.
It's available on our website, blackcomiclords.net.
There you go. Listen, guys. Okay. So here's the crazy part. Crazy part is tomorrow morning, or should I say sometime tonight, tickets go on sale.
Oh.
They are putting the tickets on sale October the 3rd. That is over a month in advance. And I gotta say that probably for the first 2 weeks, we're probably gonna see sellouts. I mean, sellouts. And don't let this movie be great, Paul. Because it's gonna be hard to get into a theater. If we haven't gotten any reviews yet, but I believe that this movie is gonna be all that in a bag of chips, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not excited like everybody is. I would like to see T'Challa, but I do believe that T'Challa will return to the MCU at some point. Kevin Feige, he said in the interview that it was just too soon. And for those guys, I honestly think that if we had personal relationships with Chadwick Boseman, and let's say the Black Comic Lords were behind the scenes at the Black Panther filming of the movies, and we had a chance to hang out with Chadwick Boseman and all that, we might feel that way too. But because we're fans and we're comic heads or whatever, we're thinking about the character, you know what I'm saying? Those guys had to work with the man who played the character, who embodied the character. So I get both sides, but I mean, we got to go out there and support Wakanda Forever. I'm in favor for doing anything that upsets the elite.
That's right.
Whatever you want to call it. I want us to just bum rush the theaters, whether we wearing all white, y'all wear y'all dashikis, bring your drums.
And your tissues.
Yeah, bring your tissue. Please bring your tissue. Please bring your tissue. And bring your mask. And bring your sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's be safe. There is still a pandemic going on. But when we get into this, guys, I want to talk about not Black Panther, the Black Panther characters, because I love Shuri, I love Okoye, I love Nakia. Those are the queens.
Mm-hmm.
Queen Ramonda. I want to talk about Namor. Okay? I'm excited I'll tell you, I'm excited for Namor because one, they're giving us a retcon. Namor originally is from Atlantis, but he is going to be representing an underwater city called Talocan. And they're experimenting with the little Aztec Mayan mythology in this. And so there's room for this character to grow because, again, I would prefer if they had given us the original Namor T'Challa battle, okay? But we're not going to get that. And so because we're not getting that, I feel like they took a liberty in retconning Namor, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not the biggest Namor fan. I know there's some Namor fans that are upset, but I think it's cool that we get a chance to see Mayan Aztec or Southern American aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? The headdress that he wears and some of the characters, that's beautiful, man. I think that we can't really hate on that at all or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That gives the Latin population more representation too, because I want to see more of those characters in the MCU as well. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's how I see when I look at Namor. I mean, what are your thoughts about them retconning Namor and the visuals that we've gotten already? I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I actually kind of dig the concept of making Atlantis part of the ancient world. It's always been considered part of the ancient world.
Yeah.
Although routinely it has been associated with ancient Greece or even Mesopotamia for some reason, even though it's kind of landlocked. But there exists another ancient world that they're tying it to, and I think that's kind of cool. I'm not certain where they're going to say this.
Okay, you muted. Did you mute? Are you mute, Paul?
No, looked like he froze.
He done froze. What about you, Tamika? How you feel about the aesthetics?
Well, I knew there was going to be a reimagining of Namor because in the Marvel universe, Namor is what is characterized as the first mutant.
Yes.
But since they're going to kind of ease mutants into the MCU slowly by surely, they had to change that aspect about him to bring him in now, as opposed to when mutants and the Fantastic Four and all the other people were involved with his story. Because I collected the Black Panther series when Shuri was Black Panther. And then they had this big conflict with Namor in Atlantis. So I always thought, well, that would be kind of a cool thing. I would love to see how that pops off. And lo and behold, I probably gift wrapped it in this movie.
Yes. Yeah, I mean the Namor Black Panther adversary enemies, Atlanta versus Wakanda is legendary, the stuff of legend in the Marvel comics. And I really enjoy that whole story with Shuri and with T'Challa. And what's so funny is that they bring a lot of the other Marvel characters into the situation as well. And so I don't know if we're going to see other characters. I mean, of course, we know that we're going to see Ironheart in the movie, but it's not a foregone conclusion that we're going to see her a lot. However, this movie has a run of 2 hours and 41 minutes. That's a long time to be in the theater, Tamiko.
Child play. Because when a movie it might be long, but if the movie moves and it grabs you,
yes,
you won't even notice how long it's been. Because I believe Thor: Love and Thunder had a pretty long runtime. And then I'm sitting there at the end of the movie and I'm thinking, wow, that didn't seem long at all. So I'm not.
I mean, let's see. H&A says there's a lot of something in this movie with that runtime, and I think part of it is, we're going to get part funeral. I think that's going to take a big chunk, maybe 20, 30 minutes. I don't know if you got a chance to see this, Tamiko. I know we don't have the slide, but there was a shot of Nakia in some mourning garb that was real beautiful. And so I think that they have to deal with the loss of T'Challa and then the conflict with Namor. I just think that the funeral part or the grieving part of the movie is going to take a lot, and we're probably going to get that early. I'm thinking. Well, as a matter of fact, I know we're going to get it early, but it may take a significant amount of that time. And like you said, it won't feel long because a lot of us are going to be right in the theater experiencing this grief with those characters. So we'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's when Angela Bassett said months ago that she felt like this movie was going to be better than the first one, and that's saying a lot. And I remember Paul saying, she's kind of paid to say that. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Angela Bassett don't really talk a whole lot about her projects and things of that nature. For her to be so bold as to say that, there it is. That's it right there. Thank you, Derek. Love the wizard, man. Gotta love our wizard, Derek, in the background. That's a beautiful headdress that she has on, and she's just a beautiful woman, period. But that is one of the spoilers, or if one of the screenshots that we have from the movie as well. So shout out to everybody that's associated with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I want to personally thank Ryan Coogler because he dealt with a lot of stuff putting this movie together. They stopped and they started. They stopped and they started. They had issues with Letitia Wright, you know what I'm saying? She got hurt. Then he had the situation at the bank in Atlanta. That dude went through a lot filming this movie. And but I wanna just show some love and appreciation for him because that Chadwick was one of his closest friends, and he helped build that character that we love and adore. And so, he was able to. I mean, he literally had to go in and rewrite the script after Chadwick passed, and so that was just amazing. But anywho, we have that next month. Can't believe it's with next month, Tamiko. We're gonna be talking about a lot of Black Panther stuff. H&H Comp says totally forgot about his bank situation. We could have lost Mr. Coogler due to that. Absolutely, absolutely. That
so much stuff going on.
Yeah. He had a lot going on. And I think when we get past this part of Phase 4, when he gets ready to start doing other things, because he's with Marvel, I think, for another 2 or 3 years or whatever. I know he had like a 5-year deal. Put together some stuff.
That means he could do other movies as well.
Yes. And maybe some people say that he may be in line to do Secret Wars, which if they they give him the keys to Secret War, that's amazing all by itself. So let's kind of just hope that Mr. Feige is that this movie is successful, and that Mr. Feige is definitely open to giving him that shot, because that's definitely a major event for Marvel. That's like Endgame stuff. So yeah, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. That's what's up. Oh, and H&H brings up Secret Wars equals Miles. Yeah, I mean, that we can hope also for that. I have an issue with Miles Morales, and people. My issue with Miles Morales is documented, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about them having a Spider-Man movie where they have the 3 Spider-Mans. Yeah, where you been?
I'm having internet issues, apparently.
Internet.
I would have sworn Phil Thompson was in this video with us or something.
Internet is trash. Well,
I'm getting that Philadelphia internet connection.
Let me get this point out real quick, Paul. But I wanted them to introduce Miles in the last Spider-Man. I felt like that was the opportune time for them to really introduce him. And the reason why I say that is because I mean, they went out of their way and brought in the 2 Spider-Mans from the Sony package, okay? What was the problem with bringing Miles along for the ride?
Well, that would have been too much.
They should have
would
released him a cameo.
It would have just exploded. So
Yeah.
It's probably easier because I'm sure that this current Spider-Man, he's got a couple more movies left in him. So they should have no issues if they want to slide Miles in either that way. But Secret Wars could be the best way to bring him in and not have that white boy looking over his shoulder be like, who you? You know.
If he shows up in Secret Wars, it's going to be bananas. Because we've waited so long for this character to pop up on screen. And by that time, we would have the second part of Into the Spider-Verse. That movie should be coming out another year, I would think, another year or two. But Paul, we would be remiss to gloss over Black Panther, Wakanda Forever without your input. You are the HNIC over at Dakota Bass. Can you give us the official stance of the affiliation of what does the cult of Bass think of this masterpiece that is about to be before the people?
First of all, I would like to thank the Black Comic Lords for having us on a show today so that we can maybe discuss the official position of the cult of Bass. The acolytes and myself would like to convey our great disdain for Marvel Studios' lack of planning for the future of the great King T'Challa and the many stories that he has to have been told. That being said, we will provide our support for this film as it is a great opportunity for the many Black people that have been involved in this film, from Ryan Coogler to the cast and the many people involved in the creation of this film. It is a historic thing. The first film helped to break the barrier, showing that Black people cannot make a film of this type, of this level, and be successful. So we have to throw our support for that. But you say things such as T'Challa shall return someday. I note that at D23, in which they give the slate for the upcoming films for the foreseeable future of the Marvel Universe, there is no Black Panther 3. So I tell to you, when shall we have our king return? When shall T'Challa return to the MCU? I don't know, but it is not on Marvel's plans for the next 3 years. We know this.
But
I also say this.
Mm-hmm.
You say, bring your tissues to this film. There is something to be said as to why you must bring your tissues to this film. Some may say, well, it's going to be emotional to talk about the king dying. The king should not die. The king is alive and well in the comic books. And T'Challa has never been killed in 60 years of history.
True.
Mm-hmm.
It is unfortunate that Marvel has decided to kill him yet again and have children who have seen the first film and have grown to love and appreciate this character to have to experience the death of their hero once again.
Yeah. It is unfortunate.
I will now turn this over to my colleague, Mr. White Davis.
It's unfortunate. We all are recast T'Challa over here. However, we have to go with what Marvel is doing because this is what they have chosen to do. Now, here's the thing. You said, when will we see Black Panther again? Well, we may see Black Panther show up in an Avengers movie.
When we say Black Panther, are we talking about T'Challa or somebody else?
Well, that I don't know. I can't
because that's the narrative. That's the narrative that's got me upset.
Yeah, and I
You've
get that.
got
I
Marvel
get that.
pushing. You've got Marvel pushing this idea that it's just a mantle. You have Nate Moore saying it's just a mantle. It's never just been a mantle. And they
Right.
say, oh well, in the comic books, other people have had the black. You're talking about out of 100% of the comic books, maybe 7% have to do with stories that don't deal with T'Challa. Maybe 10 at most, and that's being generous.
Now, I'm going to ask a question. This might upset you, Paul.
I'm not going.
But
I can't get more upset.
But like Herschel, I gotta say it. Given that we know that for the most part, it hadn't been completely confirmed, but we kind of know that Shuri is the Black Panther right now.
Right.
Okay. My question is, given that she's going to be the Black Panther in the movie, will we get some Black Panther material, new Black Panther material, with Shuri as Black Panther?
There's already been material with Shuri as Black Panther.
I know, but I'm talking about future.
In the comic books, you mean?
Yes.
They've been there and done that a few times. She's been the Black Panther a couple of times. Yeah, in fact, the last time she was Black Panther, she begrudgingly took it and said, I didn't really like it. Like, I don't need to be Black Panther to define myself. Like, I got other stuff going on. She has her own power set at this moment. I think the Shuri as Black Panther thing may even be a red herring. I think if Marvel goes to their logical conclusion, they'll keep running with the mantle thing and appoint somebody else as the Black. I think Shuri will definitely put on the suit and she'll be Black Panther in this film. I'm just not entirely certain they're going to leave it at that. I think they'll either introduce another character and make them the actual protector of Wakanda, or they will open that door for someone else other than T'Challa in the future. Gotcha. I think that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, which is interesting too. With this last point I want to bring up before we transition. Target is taking a huge step in terms of merch. So there's going to be a significant amount of Black Panther Wakanda Forever merch. That means action figures. That means dress-up stuff for Halloween. Yeah, there was a big article about it online. But yeah, Target is definitely one of the chains that will have a lot of Wakanda Forever merch. And so one of the things, yeah, and that's one of the things that we were upset about last go round was that, where's the merch? Where's the Wakanda? And the funny thing is that they caught up real quick after they saw the success of the movie. But I think this go round, they understand that people are going to go see this movie. People are going to want to see certain things. And so we're going to probably get some dope T-shirts. We're probably going to get some nice, even some jewelry. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be.
I'm waiting for the Kimoyo beads.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nice. I mean, they just put out the Dora Milaje training book. They got all kind of stuff that's kind of complementing this. And of course, we know that there's a Wakanda book coming. There's a Black Panther one-shot that's coming. And, the future for Black Panther is uncertain in regards to John Ridley's run. But...
And the media may not always follow what the comic books does.
Yes.
They might decide after the success of this movie to change the comic books to reflect the media.
That's my biggest fear. And that's what I've been saying for 2 years since Chadwick Boseman died. Mm-hmm. And that is what we have going on in the comic books right now.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, it is what it is. We're going to
dark times ahead for fans of Black Panther, T'Challa.
Well, Gordon Mahan says,
we'll see.
Gordon Mahan says, I say that T'Challa will return.
What's going on right now? The Black Panther book is trash.
The T'Challa IP, not the mantle, is worth billions to Disney / Marvel. Agreed.
Well, hold on. Let me talk about that. Let me talk about that, please.
Uh-oh.
The Black Panther franchise is worth billions to them. But to understand why I'm so passionate about this, understand the underlying narrative here. When they say it's just a mantle, right? That this franchise is just a mantle. We can just pass it on to anybody, right? It's in essence saying T'Challa's disposable. He's a disposable person. Historically, Black people and other marginalized people have always been disposable people. You have William Hurt die, who played Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU. They've already got Harrison Ford in the wings to take up that role, right? There's no, oh, well, you know, we really liked working with William Hurt. He's a great guy, phenomenal actor, decades of history in this industry in Hollywood. Where's the outcry? He's the only one ever played Thunderbolt Ross. He defined the character. No one else has played him. He's played it since the very beginning of the MCU in 2008. The second film right after Iron Man was Incredible Hulk. Right? But we're disposable people. Our characters are disposable people. I think that theme is what bothers me. And it should bother all of you, to be honest with you.
I think it does, Paul. I'm going to push back on that just a little bit. I think it does. I think that the issue, though, the trouble is that, you know, the way Chadwick Boseman passed, the timing of it, I mean, you know, I think all of that kind of played a part in why everything kind of fell the way it did.
I get that. I get that. But that's not what we're talking about.
And I'm not dismissing the importance of you know, recasting. I am for recasting T'Challa. I just think that for these guys, and particularly at Marvel Studios, and particularly that cast, I'm talking about the cast members that worked with Chadwick, you know, Ryan Coogler himself. This was a very painful project. They had to create art, and they had to make this movie and this film. And what I'm hoping for more than anything, that it transfers and that it radiates out when we go see it.
But Rich, that's not what I'm talking about.
I know.
I understand everything that you said. I agree with everything you said. I understand everything you said, but that's not the issue. The issue has nothing to do with the cast and they don't want to put him back in the film. It's not about that. I'm not talking about that. They want to do a movie with Shuri by herself. Fine. They don't want to recast for this film. Fine. That's not the issue. The issue is the fact that they're saying the mantle is something that anybody can have. We can get rid of T'Challa, and they're actually getting rid of T'Challa in the comic books to fit the narrative. That's the issue.
I get that, my brother. I'm just saying that we don't really know what they're going to do. I know it looks like this. I understand that. I'm reading John Ridley's run with you. But at the same time, I got to believe that T'Challa is going to return. I have to, as a comic head, I have to believe that. There's no way that they're going to throw away 60 or 50 years of Black Panther story and lore behind that character. I just refuse to believe that they're going to do that completely. Because I think the thought is that you might think that it's permanent. And these are comics.
No, I think it's not anything. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Okay. That's
what I think.
And that's fair.
And why do I think that? Because they said so. They haven't released the Black Panther 3, have they?
No.
Where's the Wakanda show? Where's the Wakanda show Ryan Coogler is working on?
Let's get this one out the way first, my brother.
Well, that's my point. Is Disney doesn't understand. Disney plans far in advance. They didn't say, well, let's see how these next couple films do before we decide to do a next Avengers Secret Wars. No, they know what's going to make money. They know Black Panther is going to make money. There's a conscious decision as to why not to say, well, you know what, we're going to do a Black Panther 3. We already know, regardless of who's going to take up the mantle, we know they're going to do a Black Panther 3. They haven't said that. That doesn't bother y'all?
Listen, it bothers me, but I'm not bothered to the point and degree of, what's next. Because listen, it took a minute for me to just wrap my head around the fact that we're finna watch a Black Panther movie and our king, quote unquote, is not in it. It took a minute for me to just kind of reconcile that. After that, I'm like, okay, Rich, let's give this a chance. We've trusted Feige for 18 movies. Let's see where this goes. And so I want to believe that they're going to do the right thing. They may not, but you know as well as I do, these guys have, they kind of batted 1,000. They've had some hiccups in this last phase, but for the most part, these guys have been consistent. So I'm just saying,
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
And I will say that based on the trailer alone, what I've seen and the passion from the cast, I do expect the film to be a good film, regardless of my feelings that they should have recast it immediately. I do expect it to be, all in all, a good film. They have earned that assumption based on the last film that they did.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, guys, I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is we gonna be dressed in white with our popcorn down. We gonna do it. We gonna do it. So get over yourself. Get you some tickets.
Don't drink too much. It's a 2-hour and 41-minute film.
Yeah, clearly. Who's gonna be holding their banner that long? Anyway, listen, we're gonna take a break. And speaking of Black superheroes saving the world, we want you to check out this video Rich recommends on Silver Surfer issue number 5. Check it out. We'll be right back.
Super
Peace.
classic.
Peace. What's up, y'all? Today's Rich Recommends is one part Bible story, The Good Samaritan, and Black Like Me by John Howard Griffin. Today's issue is Silver Surfer number 5. And in this particular issue, the Silver Surfer breaks into the Fantastic Four lab and steals a contraption called the Space Scrambler. The Surfer's MO is to use the Space Scrambler to break what he calls the Galactic Barrier so he can escape and sail the cosmos. In his attempt to use it, it malfunctions. The Surfer blacks out, only to find himself in the presence of a black man, but not just any black man. Meet Al B. Harper, a physicist who discovers the Silver Surfer falling from the sky into the woods. The Surfer has had his share of bigotry, and he is surprised that Al Harper would even befriend him. However, Al simply admits to him that he knows what it feels like to be pushed around, and it is in this connection that causes the Surfer to be transparent and share with Al what he is trying to do. Al wants to help him. However, he lets the Surfer know that they need money, none of which he has. So the Surfer goes on what appears to be a fool's errand. Subsequently, he achieves his goal and returns to Al with the resources he needs. And as a result, Al gets to work. He's unable to break the Galactic Barrier, yet Al cleverly devises a way to hide the Surfer's molecular structure when he approaches the barrier. Strange enough, the stranger, a being of immense power, observes energy blast coming from the space scrambler. He believes that the Surfer has discovered his plot to destroy the Earth. The Surfer encounters the Stranger, and the Stranger wants him to leave Earth because he intends to destroy it. However, the Surfer, who has been treated unfairly by these people of Earth, finds merit in who they are. These primitive peoples, however, they do themselves no favors. The Surfer, though, goes to Al. He explains to him the new threat. And so Al makes a point to go to the police, because after all, he believes that no one will believe the Surfer. But he doesn't really fare any better. No one listens. That's the point. So Al and the Surfer have to do this on their own. They strike out, and Al goes after the bomb, which the Stranger has planted, and the Surfer goes after the Stranger. Al, however, is accosted on the street by people who see this device strapped to his waist. He fights them off and finds the place where the Noah bomb is. But unfortunately for Al, the device has a booby trap, and vapor is released, causing him to choke. However, he's able to disarm the bomb, saving the whole world. It is in this situation that the Surfer laments, because one, he's not able to break the barrier, and his friend Al B. Harper died saving the world. As a result, Al B. Harper was buried in an unmarked grave. So in fitting tribute, the Surfer ignites an unquenchable flame for a hero that no one knows. If you like this video, please like it, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Yeah. So that was my impression of, I don't know, intelligent black man. Shout out to Silver Surfer #5. That book has spiked. You go to eBay, that book ain't $20. That book is hovering at $50, $60, $100, $130. I recommend you go get it. If you can find it, you can try to get it in an auction and try to get it for cheap. But yeah, that's go get that book. It's a very important book. So looks like Paul has bounced again. Well, we got to keep this train rolling. So I love that issue, Rich. Thanks, appreciate it. Yes, sir. It's a good book. We're going to talk now about Captain America: New World Order. We have no information on the story of this book. All we know is that Anthony Mackie is going to reprise his role as Captain America, and that Danny Ramirez is going to be the new Falcon, and Carl Lumbly will be back as Isaiah Bradley. I wanted to talk about this book, this particular movie tonight, because I do feel that it has the potential to be the most important film for Black American comic fans. And what I mean by that is because we know Falcon to be the first Black American comic at Marvel. And so there's a little history that's there. And Anthony Mackie, for the first time, other than the Falcon and Winter Soldier story, gets to be a headliner in his own movie. I'm just hoping and praying that he does not get the Scarlett Johansson treatment, because they really messed her up with Black Widow. So hopefully everything goes well with this particular story. Some people have an issue with Anthony Mackie playing Captain America. And in our community, there's some people with some very strong opinions about it. I'm on the fence with this, and the only reason why I say that is because I think that Falcon was his own character, and he was a strong character. And I don't necessarily think that him taking up the mantle was a promotion. In fact, I went on as far as to say that it was a demotion, only from the standpoint that in the Disney series Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Isaiah Bradley tells him that no self-respecting black man would want to be Captain America, and that's all based upon the treatment of black men, whether they worked in the military or whether they were stateside or they were just regular citizens. Isaiah Bradley was a soldier, we know, and he comes back from the war, being the first super soldier, and he had to deal with a lot of things, and he was ostracized or blackballed, if you want to say it like that, or whatever. But they basically stuck him in a hole and forgot about it. And so the idea that they even brought this story to light is still amazing to me. It's one of the best Marvel stories concerning with black characters. I'm talking about the Red, Black, and Truth book. And they're taking it a step further with this movie and bringing Isaiah Bradley. Because the thought is, why bring him back? They're going a little bit down the rabbit hole, and I'm not mad at that. So, what do you guys think about this? I mean, are you guys excited, or are you at least interested, or what are your thoughts about Captain America: New World Order?
Oh, well, I'm excited, but I think that this experience that Isaiah Bradley had, it pretty much mirrors the experience, that older black people have had. Yes. In regards to how they experience life and racism, and then how their children are experiencing it. And it's two totally different things, it's two totally different worlds. Isaiah Bradley was speaking from his hurt, from what happened to him. And of course, Sam had no idea that went on. He had no idea that was going on, because Sam's position is different. He was, I hate to say it, he was Captain America's sidekick. So he was right there with him. So Sam is suffering with his feelings of not deserving the mantle that Steve Rogers is passing to him. Mm-hmm. And then you have another person who thinks, they did such terrible, horrible things to me. Why would you even want that mantle? Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a really good thing for people to see, for people to understand. And of course, I understand with black folk, they're all like, let's not show our dysfunctions for everyone to see. Some things need to be shown so that the others can understand.
Right. What do you think about this, Paul?
Well, I'm excited. I mean, Look, I agree with you. I view him being Captain America is a bit of a demotion. But that being said, I'm excited because I've read the original Captain America Sam Wilson run, in which they talk about the issues of him being Captain America. So that was a very exciting storyline. And they dealt with the issues that you would expect a black Captain America to have to deal with. So I'm excited to see how Malcolm Spellman handles that.
It's going to be interesting, man, because with this being in, this is a little different because this is going to be in the theaters. And let's just be honest. There is a segment of the fan base, or the fandom, I should say, that is not happy about Sam Wilson being Captain America. And we have seen our share of zealots and our share of radical, racist, neo-Nazis, crazy folk, whatever you want to call them, do damage in movie theaters. And I'm hoping that the story that they tell, that it's not so triggering to where someone feel like that they would want to, you know, come to a theater and cause harm. Because I'll be honest, of all the characters that they could give a mantle to, this one is very, very delicate. Captain America, for some people, represents the American way. You know, Steve Rogers being a white man, blue-eyed, blonde, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, all the you know, all that goes with that. And so, you know, it's just going to be interesting to see what story that they're going to tell. I can't wait for the first trailer to drop. The movie is supposed to actually premiere, on May the 3rd, 2024. So we're talking another 2 years, or another year and a half. So a lot can happen within that time, but you know, we'll see. We shall see.
Well, I'm not going to let them sit there and take that from me.
Right.
You know,
Can you guys hear me?
I'm not so much concerned about, you know, what they think, because of course, you know, anytime that someone black touches something for them people, it triggers them. So it doesn't really matter what it is. Mermaids, witches, things. So we can't let them have the power. I was like, I'm gonna be hopeful that we pack these theaters for Captain America, New World Order, just like we're gonna pack it for The Little Mermaid, just like we're gonna pack it for Wakanda Forever.
Yes. And that's my hope, more than anything, Tamiko, is that we give this our full support. You know, say again?
May I say something?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't know what you heard the last time before I got cut off again, but just like we say in Kevin Feige, we trust, and Malcolm Spellman, we trust. I thought he did an excellent job with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought the fact that he was even able to bring in Isaiah Bradley and that red, white, and black storyline is phenomenal. That's a storyline I never thought would ever be made on television or film. The fact that he was able to get that done and accomplished and done so well, my hat's off to him. That's a dude that I trust in, because he did that intentionally. And he even got to bring in the next generation of Captain America and introducing Eli Bradley as well. That's significant. I think the logical place that the storyline would go toward would be doing the Captain America Sam Wilson storyline, which is an excellent storyline, which deals with many of the issues that you would anticipate a black Captain America having to deal with. If you have not read those books, I highly recommend it. You have 2 years to do so before this film comes out, to give you some context. And I also think another thing, I think it's a potential for him to potentially introduce other characters. You know, that's the good thing about movies, is they're always introducing other characters. I'm curious to see what other characters may be introduced in that film. What Malcolm Spellman's able to accomplish. And I really would like a subtext story that wasn't really explored was Sam Wilson and James Rhodes are both soldiers, right? And both decided to become superheroes, but they did it from two different sides of the perspective. You had at the beginning of the Falcon and Winter Soldier film, you had Sam and James talking to each other, and James can't fathom why Sam gave up the shield. And that question wasn't really answered successfully for me. And they're both black men who have served in the military and have had to deal with what that entails in terms of, you know, serving a country that doesn't necessarily service you in equal proportion. But James goes along and Rhodey does it, you know, regardless. It would have been interesting to have them have that discussion as to their different perspectives on it, if there is a difference in their perspectives.
Right. I mean, you know, it makes for definitely interesting or entertaining television. I think that also, however, it's a story that I feel like when I did a blog about a month or so ago about black soldiers in the military and their presence in comic books and how they show us, their struggle and how these soldiers get along and how they're able to kind of like do their job in the face of all this hostile environment they find themselves in. It would be a beautiful thing if they did that. I just don't know if they will. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like when Malcolm Spellman did what he did, we were all shocked by that. But I think that, it was probably one of those things when they came up with the idea to do the show and they pitched it. What was Marvel going to say? Because this was a part of their lore. It's not like he just pitched them a brand new idea. This was a Marvel 7-page or 6-issue mini that many of us as Black collectors have, and it languished in long boxes in dollar bins for the longest. Now that book, that number one especially, is some bread. You got to pay a little bit of bread for that. So they see the value in it in telling our stories. It's one of those things. Are they willing to tell it?
Yeah. Speaking
of, are they willing to tell it? Let's shift gears and talk about Blade. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the part of our show where we are. There is a glitch in the Matrix.
Is this the hot mess part of the show?
Yeah, this is the hot mess part of the show. Hey, Derek, can you hit my disclaimer real quick?
You know what, Dad, when
Listen, okay.
I get nervous when you actually ask for the disclaimer.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna be polite. Eric Brooks deserves better. Somebody at Rico at this, because I want Rico to hear this. Because Rico's the biggest Blade fan I know.
Shout out to Rico Jones.
The character Blade is so polarizing in Marvel. It doesn't matter what book he's in. He could be in an Avengers book. He could be in his own title. He could be in a team up. He could be in a Black Panther book. People look for Blade to show up in stories. He's now in the Midnight Suns run that's out right now. First issue was fire. Go get that. Having said that, though, if you thought that there was a character that should be a bona fide home run, what up, Rico?
Rico's here.
Because I really just hope they cancel the Blade project entirely. Writer, director with horrible choices from the beginning. Yes, sir.
Actually, they have a new writer for the Blade movie, who's the writer, was a brother from who wrote Moon Knight.
Yeah, Bo DeMayo. But let me say this. If there should have been a home run, a guaranteed knock it out the park, this is it.
Yeah.
It should have been it.
How difficult is it? You made 3.
But that's the problem. That's the problem.
But the recipe's right there.
The guy that helped bring the MCU into existence he's right there.
Yeah.
But
the
anyway,
would have been to make Wesley Snipes be the Afari character, right? Blade's mentor.
Yes. Here's the thing, though. To Rico's point, they made a bad decision with the script. And I'm still of the opinion that the director looked at the script and was like, you know what? I'm out. You're not going to be able to do nothing with this. So they had to basically Watch the script. They got to get a new director, the whole thing. Mahershala Ali is pissed. This is a Academy Award winning actor.
Didn't he win like twice?
Yes. Here's the thing. He's an Academy Award winning actor. He's an A-list actor. You know, Wesley Snipes was not a A-list character, A-list actor. He was A-B type list. He was there. Blade took him over the top. This makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah. It's a money maker. I mean, people have been waiting for a Blade movie for now 20 years, right?
Bruh, it makes no sense to me. This does not make no sense. And to Rico's point, I'm kind of on that level that I just wish that they would just scrap it and start over, because this is a character you can't get this wrong. If you are able to screw up a character like Blade, you're not that very good at your job.
Yeah.
Because Blade is about that action. That's what you get in a Blade movie.
Wasn't there a rumor that there's only like 2 major action scenes in the film or something?
No, major. They said they were mediocre action scenes.
Good Lord.
I'm like, that's all Blade does is hack up vampires. How long is that? But again, I don't know if they're trying to dot these I's and cross these T's when it comes to this MCU thing. They can probably
MCU can do action. They can do action. The Winter Soldier proves that. Shang-Chi proves that they can
good
choreographer.
Then why somebody tell me how they get this wrong? How they mess this up?
But here's the thing. This is still in production. This is still being made. So they're not getting it wrong, okay? Because we don't have anything to base that on. And it's far better for them to get it together, take out the trash, chuck it out, and start over, and then get it right by the time this movie comes about. Because this movie isn't scheduled for another year and a half, right?
Yeah.
So you got to give them...
Tamiko, actually, they're supposed to be filming this movie now.
2 months. Yeah, they're supposed to be filming it next 2 months.
So it's like now you got to go back to the drawing board. Here's the thing about Mahershala Ali. When you do a contract with Marvel, he really can't do anything else. So it's like, okay, if he takes on a role where he has to beef up or he has to shrink, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing, because you know that Marvel diet that they put these guys on, or that Marvel workout regimen that he's on, he's doing that or whatever, right? But now they can't even get the script, they can't even film. So now he's just doing what he has to do to keep in shape for this film. And Marvel is like, I hate to break it to you, because they're not going to start filming in 2 months. They have to redo the whole script. The script was only 90 pages, which is the bare minimum for a movie. We're talking about a 90-minute movie.
Rico Jones could have wrote a script in a weekend.
I mean, they only got like 30, 40, 50 years of comic books. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Again,
he says, I'll tell you why they chose that writer, but y'all won't like it. I mean, bro.
What is it,
I got my ideas, but you want to put it out there, Rico. Go ahead.
I still think you guys are jumping the gun on this one. Okay. We should give them a little grace on that, because it's not like they're releasing the movie tomorrow.
No, but here's the thing about
all
it.
The angst might be unnecessary, just like all the angst for Wakanda Forever might be unnecessary until November, until you actually see what they put on that screen.
Right. Well, here's the thing, though, Tamiko. When they first announced Blade, they had a date, they had a time frame, and then they moved it. And they moved it again. And they did this like 2 or 3 times. This last time, we good to go. Then all of a sudden, the director bounces. So it's like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, and you're right. You know what I'm saying? We have to kind of wait and see. But it's one of those things where we've been waiting for a Blade movie, like Paul said, for 20 years. Wesley Snipes.
Longer.
Yeah.
Until
but
they
here's the thing. Wesley Snipes he didn't create Blade, but he created the MCU. The seed money that they made in those 3 movies, Wesley Snipes is responsible for that. And so if nothing else, this they got to do better by that character, because all of this marvelous stuff that we have, people forget that in the 90s that Marvel basically went bankrupt. And it was through his Amin-Ra Productions and doing this film or doing this character, Blade, the first movie, that set them up. So this marvelous thing that we have today, they owe that to Wesley Snipes' contribution. Because Blade was a major character, but he was virtually unknown by most casual fans or comic book heads. If you didn't know horror comics and Marvel, you didn't know who Blade was.
Wesley Snipes' portrayal of Blade was so well done and so revolutionizing that they actually, it's one of those instances we talked about earlier, where they redefined the character in the comics to suit Wesley Snipes. They made the character look like him from the movie. They changed his power sets, Daywalker, etc., up his power to fit what was the movie, before the movie, that was the thing. But that's how significant it was.
Mm-hmm.
And,
well, then let's be hopeful that they will bring him in, and perhaps they can right the wrong that was made.
Hopefully.
A producer.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too. The problem, of course, I think with that is that Wesley was having issues when they were putting out Blade 3, the Trinity, which I think was the worst one. The best one has always been the first one, in my opinion. They just had a lot of content. You said you can still watch Blade 1 and 2 today. It's still entertaining. Absolutely. But there was so much friction between, I think, David Goyer, who was the producer, I want to say, and him. They were nearly coming to blows, from what I understand. A lot of drama or whatever. So Wesley did do himself no favors, because some people think that Wesley is hard to deal with. But of course, I mean, you're a star.
Mm-hmm.
You got diva issues. It is what it is. But, again, the story of Blade is so rich and full of mythos, and I just don't understand how they missed it. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. How they messed this up. And again, we'll get to that. But see, we're getting ready to watch on October the 7th, I think it is, Werewolf by Night is coming out on Disney Plus. Right? And
really?
So yeah. That
I didn't
show,
realize it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's getting ready to come out. And so he's a part of that. He's a part of that genre for Marvel. So it's a reason why he's getting a lot of the spotlight is on Blade and what's going on with Blade, because you're doing stories, because like I think Man-Thing is going to be in that story as well, and probably a few other characters.
I will lose my stuff if Dr. Voodoo makes an appearance in that, just a cameo or something, even by my mention.
I mean, it's all a possibility. The potential is there, but again, we got to wait and see. That's the thing about that. I wanted to talk about Blade last because I felt like, it's an up and down issue whether this movie's going to get made. And if it does get made, what will we see it? At this point, we won't see it to 2024. Because they still, like I say, they got to rewrite the script. Mm-hmm. Then they got to send it to production or whatever, right? Get everybody on board. Then they got to do the CGI stuff. That CGI stuff takes a while to do. So, again, we might see Miles before we see Blade. Tragic.
And they even decide to sprinkle a little misogyny on it by featuring his daughter in the upcoming comics series. And here we go. See, we was thinking on the same wavelength. And a whole bunch of people, why you gotta have females in stuff? So
well, I mean, the thing about
I just need them to cool out.
The thing is, people don't realize that Blade has had a daughter in the in the Marvel universe for a minute. So this iteration or this daughter that's in the comics now, I'm not sure what her first name was.
It's Fallon, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's his daughter with his longtime girlfriend.
It's unfortunate that a lot of fanboys just got issues. Help them, please. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this situation, though, I just don't understand. I just do not understand. But hey, they get paid the big bucks. I just get paid to talk trash about their stuff. Anyway, having said that, guys, we're going to wrap this up. But before we get out of here, we want to shout out all of our subscribers to our YouTube channel. We just recently crossed the threshold of 700 subscribers. Bravo, bravo, bravo. And so we wanted to say thank you to those of you that are watching by YouTube and who are subscribed to our channel. We're really trying to grow Black Comic Lords, and we really want this thing to really take off. And so we know that we're on our way because of the content that we have available for you. Rich recommend videos. We're going to try to keep a healthy dose of those in the pike. The Rodney Barnes quick takes on vampires in Philadelphia. Those are amazing. Our stuff that we do in the MCU. I mean, we have kind of grown by leaps and bounds in the last month or so. Appreciate that, Rico. Thank you, sir. But we still got a ways to go. We marching to 1,000. Yes. And we want you guys to encourage your friends, your fellow comic heads to subscribe to the channel, check us out. You know what I'm saying, and give us ideas. If you guys have ideas for shows or things that you want us to talk about and cover, we will. Just hit us up. At blackcomiclords@gmail.com, and go to our website and check out blackcomiclords.net. Our database is growing, tremendously. And we have something, significant available, that we're doing something that we're not the first to do it, but we want to believe that we're going to be the best to do it. And right. And that's our march. That's our march in order to be the best at, for what we do. We want to create content that will be informative. We also want to create content that will be fun. We also want to create content that will be thought-provoking as well. And that's not a easy task sometimes, but we're here for it, and, we just keep doing what we do. So, he says the image in the 90s live show was an idea from a fan. And we not, like I say, if you guys want us to cover certain things, we have no problem. It may take us a minute to get to it, but we'll do it. You know what I mean? It's not, we're fans of comics. We love comic books. We love Black comic book creators. We love Black people. Black. That's what we do. But I promise you, upcoming on October the 21st, we have a nice interview lined up. We won't say who it is just yet, but what we will say is, yeah, it's gonna be fire. That's all I can say.
Just keep an ear out.
Yeah. It says, can you talk about Marvel's most powerful beings on the planet listed in Judgment number 5, and Blue Marvel not one of them?
Oh. Oh.
Bruh, we'll be here another hour.
Not tonight, but we can definitely do a Judgment Day live.
Yeah.
I have thoughts.
Yeah. We'll sharpen our knives for that live another time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, look, guys, we getting out of here. It's been fun. I want to thank Tamika. I want to thank Paul for hanging out with me on tonight for Real Talk with Rich. We are back. We're going to go back to our regular programming or whatever. That means we're going to talk about comics. We're going to talk about low-hanging fruit. And we're going to talk about going down the rabbit hole. And, of course, my favorite subject, am I on something or am I on to something? So, yeah, we're going to definitely play the disclaimer when I do that. So, anyway, guys, it's your boy, Rich. We want to get out of here. Also, stay tuned for,
Panther Talk with Paul. Tonight, Austin. We're about to wrap this thing up.
Yeah. Paul's internet is trash tonight, you know what I'm saying? And,
I don't know if everyone can see me or hear me, but thank you all.
It's the same that the CEO is internet is. What are you using? American Online? AOL, you dial it up. What's going on, bro?
He's going to get you.
We just got out of here. Well, look, we're going to get out of here, man. We love y'all. Take care of yourselves. Hit up the website, blackcomiglords.net, and check out our merch, check out our blogs, check out our information. Check out the Ladies' Lives on YouTube. Check out Rich Recommends. Check out Panther Talk with Paul and Wakanda Whiskey and Bourbon Blurtum. Check out the stuff that Herschel has going on. Herschel's doing 1 billion covers a day. Just check out our stuff. And until next time, we love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And as Tamiko always says, buy the comics, read the comics.
And don't spend your rent money on comics.
That's right, because you can't live with us. Peace. We out.